Well, hey everyone, David Cook with D'Franco Painting and Wallpaper, and I got Daniel with me. Finished up a job early today, so we're back at our shop, and we're doing a test install for a Schumacher wallpaper that we have coming up for a job site. So that is the information on this specific Schumacher. Pretty overall easy one because it's pre-trimmed. We don't have to cut anything off the sides. You can kind of see on that end and that end. It's just white. So all we're doing is matching straight across. So Daniel just cut a couple small pieces off. So he's gonna get it pre-wet, see how it expands, and then he's gonna get some glue on there, and we'll put it on our wall that we got ready to go. He's got the level all set, and then he'll kind of walk you through how he's doing it. And you can kind of see Schumacher and see how it goes on your wall and see if you like it.
So again, I'm just wetting the back or the front of it just so it kind of gets relaxed. And again, like David said, sometimes it does expand. This is kind of a good kind of measure on seeing what the paper reacts to. All right. So apply some Dynamite 234. Globbed up on you. Get a nice even spread. So I don't know if you can see in that. Oh, you can. Actually, it's pretty nice with the lighting. If you go ahead and catch it with an angle of a light, you can see if you missed any spots or if there's any excess amount of glue on one spot. You want to make sure it is nice and evenly spreaded. As again, it could cause the paper to wrinkle on itself or shrink or expand. So you don't want to go too much, but be generous enough that it's going to stick.
When you're talking with the expansion, you kind of see the ends of it. It's
Yeah.
curling this way, so that's how we know it's expanding. We've done a similar one, and it expanded actually 3/8 of an inch. So that paper actually moved 3/8 of an inch wide from dry to wet. So you can kind of see it expanding. The instructions didn't say how long to book this stuff, but I'm assuming probably about, I would say 2 to 3 minutes would be the most I would let it sit, but that way it's really going to expand to where it's going to be. So if you let it expand here, that's its width. You put it on a wall, and that's where it's going to stay. If you put it on the wall, then the bad part is it's expanding, and now paper is pushing against paper as it's going on the wall.
Expansion process definitely begins as soon as you dab it up with glue. So if it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to even glue the whole sheet, just let it sit for maybe another minute, minute and a half, and you should have the full extent of that expansion. So I'm going to try to match it up with my horizontal line here with the tips of the design first. There's that. I'm going to go ahead and put pressure on the top 2 corners. Kind of start from the middle out. And as you can see, horizontal is lined up perfect. Vertical you can always adjust with the laser, but from there you can see it's pretty straight. So I'm going to continue smoothing that out.
Feel free to comment about why Daniel doesn't have a D'Franco shirt on today.
It's laundry day today. Some of you will understand. So there's that. And now you just take the other half and be careful. You may want to pull it down at the same time. Schumacher is pretty thin paper and very fragile, especially when wet. It can shred if you kind of don't even pay attention to here. It can start ripping down the middle, and this piece would stay booked. I've had it happen. So book it at the same time. Get those air bubbles out. So far, so good. This wall isn't a perfect example, but because you can see texture come through this paper. So that's why in instructions with most papers, they want you to have the surface smooth as possible so you don't see any paint patterns, any roll marks that could potentially just pop through as soon as it dries. So there's the first sheet. Nice, straight, horizontal. And again, we emphasize the horizontal, especially if the pattern has a give or a, what would you want to call it, like a clear sign where you're actually like kind of fading out if you don't have it horizontally aligned. So there's that, and then I will start on the next sheet.
It's actually a good wall. You can kind of see a couple of the screw holes. We got a mounting bracket that goes
right
up there. So it's good. You can actually, I don't know if you can see it from that or not. Let's go closer. So if we go closer to this, you can actually see where those two screw holes are. So that's why it's really important your walls are nice, smooth, and flat before you start putting up paper.
Do the same process over. Kind of just dampen the front so it relaxes. As you can see, it just wants to roll on me, which isn't fun. Still wants to. You have some of your tools, always helps. I have scissors and my straight utility straight edge. I forgot what you called it the other day.
Eunice tool.
Eunice tool. Okay, so it's starting to relax a little bit. But once you flip it over, it'll definitely help it flatten out. Okay. Application of some glue. Big emphasis on a very nicely spreaded amount of glue. I've had problems where it would dry up in a glob and it would create almost like an air bubble, but it would just be hardened glue, or if you don't hit enough, it'll actually become an air bubble and just pop off the wall. And that is no fun to deal with. Trying to re-glue it. So here I'm not putting any pressure at all, kind of letting the roller spread it nice and evenly. And there's that, and the expansion process is already going again. So after that, book it half and half. Let it relax. And usually if you're doing this on a table, while you let that book glue, can be very messy. So if you have a table and you're getting glue all over it, spreading the glue, put this off to the side as it books, and go ahead and wipe your surface, as you do not want to get glue on the front of the next sheet. Whoop. There goes my laser. I don't need the vertical anymore. I already got it where I want to, so I will keep that horizontal. And do the same thing right next to it. So again, don't put it on the wall yet, just kind of keep it the finger width. Kind of make sure you're going along with it. And as there, you can see I just tacked the top left side onto the seam, stepping back, making sure my horizontal line is nice and straight, which it is. And then you can continue. You want to lift this right side back up so you have some slide. You know, it's probably hard to see, but I'll show you when it's complete.
It over.
Or
I can move. Look at that. It's a tripod. I can move it.
As you can see, it wants to overlap in some spots, but again, that may just be slight differential in the wall.
This
So
wall's
again,
awful.
Yes, it is. So there's that. And again, here is an example of the glue getting messy on it. You want to make sure you're kind of keeping your hands clean, which I haven't been, but you can see that gets pretty dirty, but comes off pretty well with a few strokes of a damp sponge. That's that. And continue on. The bottom half booked. Again, you want to start halfway and make sure you're grabbing the other side. Pull it down at the same time. And you could potentially assume that that seam should follow your straight, and it does. That's nice, so I don't have to mess with it any more than I already had to. And there you have it.
There we go. So I just want to do a quick thing on Schumacher again. Sometimes it's kind of goofy to work with, but this one's actually a pretty nice one. This wall is horrible, but it's a great experience, great teaching wall, because this is a older facility that we took over. So we use this for practicing and teaching how to paint and prep walls, filling nail holes. So there's all kinds of bumps, bruises, so it's great for teaching because it shows, you know, certain things you may have to deal with, like humps in the wall from drywall repairs or have you. But it works really good. And there's our Schumacher demo for you. So this one's nice. You don't have to pre-trim it, so it comes right out of the box. You put it up. Seams well, 234 clear paste. Once it's up there, you definitely want to let it sit for a full day because it's paper and it gets really damp. And there's our Schumacher install for you. So if you got questions about installing other wallpapers, let us know. Love to see how we can help you love the space you're in with wallpaper, whether it's self-stick or pasting the wall, pasting the paper, whatever. You got paper, we'll get you covered. Have a great day.